Let's talk about journaling supplies from somebody who's been journaling for over 8 years now. I do all types of journaling, so I'm going to go through my favorite supplies for each of the different types of journaling that I do. I'm going to talk about the journals, the writing tools, and the decorations that I reach for over and over again and have sort of stood the test of time in terms of cost versus quality. So let's get started. I have been bullet journaling every day since 2016, and my top recommendation for a bullet journal notebook is this from Leuchtturm 1917. This is the B6 Plus hardcover dot grid classic 80 GSM line notebook, and I'll go through all the features that I think make it the best bullet journal possible. I recommend getting a hardcover because it is so durable and you can just throw it in your bag. This notebook right here, this lasted me 6 months, and you can see there's very, very little wear and tear, and I am not gentle with my notebooks, not in the least. This thing got thrown in my purse, my work bag, taken everywhere with me. I recommend the B6 Plus size. That's a unique size to Leuchtturm 1917. B6 Plus is smaller than an A5, but larger than a traditional B6. And then of course larger than an A6. So here is the size comparison, and I think that the fact that B6 Plus is just a tiny bit taller than a classic B6 makes the size a rectangle that is really kind of like Goldilocks, not too big, not too small. I recommend the classic 80 GSM paper because it is durable enough to handle most pens and markers that you want to use. In terms of all pens and most markers, it can really handle almost anything that you throw at it, and for me, daily use, that's perfect. And 80 GSM paper is thin enough that you can get a lot of pages into one small notebook, and so this notebook has almost 220 pages in it. For bullet journaling, I recommend the dot grid ruling because you obviously can still write in straight lines, but it's flexible enough that you can draw, you can create diagrams. It's good for creating bullet journal layouts like calendar, spreads, things like that. So I recommend the dot grid because it gives you that flexibility for use. For long form journaling, think like diary entries. This is the Hobonichi A6 size Hone. This is a daily planner, but I think it is perfect for long form journaling. Hobonichi journals are famously known for their paper. They contain Tomoe River paper. Tomoe River paper is extremely thin, but very fountain pen friendly. The paper is going to show those ink characteristics, and it's just so satisfying and lovely to write on. And again, it is extremely thin, and yet nothing bleeds through. Because the paper is so thin, even though this is a daily planner, so over 365 pages, the planner itself does not feel bulky at all. I highly recommend a Hobonichi Techo, Hobonichi notebook, Hobonichi planner for long form journaling, simply because the paper makes the writing experience so lovely. However, I recommend the Hone specifically because the Hone line has hard covers. So again, it's going to be very durable. You don't have to buy an extra cover. And every year they kind of expand the hardcover line a little bit more. So last year they came out with this really beautiful design cover. So it is gorgeous. Last reason I recommend this particular product is because of the size. A6 size is pretty small. It is much smaller than an A5, which is the other option for this type of journal. So if you're thinking about trying to keep up with a journaling habit every single day, sometimes if the page is too large, it feels a little intimidating, but an A6 size piece of paper, it's gonna get filled up pretty quickly. So even on days that you don't have much to say, you can still kind of fill up the page without feeling so intimidated. So that's why I recommend having an A6 size, especially if you're kind of beginning your journaling hobby. For memory keeping, which is a different type of journaling, my top recommendation is the Traveler's Company Traveler's Notebook System. Traveler's Company notebooks are meant for travel. It's in the name. So they are very, very portable. and rugged. They will last. This is really thick leather, but it's flexible and soft, so you can toss it in the bag with you, put it in your luggage, memory keep on the go. This is the standard size. I recommend this particular size because it's large enough to kind of hold all the ephemera and things that you want to memory keep with, but the slim size of it doesn't feel too large. They also make a passport size, which is about half the size of the standard. I think the biggest benefit to using a traveler's company system for memory keeping journaling is that it's a modular design. You can customize what notebooks go in here. If you want to have one insert for family vacations, one insert for memory keeping for your child or your children, and another insert for something else, you can. And yet, they can all live together in this one traveler's company notebook. You can, of course, use any one of these journals for any other purpose, but because each type of journaling has its own different needs, these are the top recommendations for those categories. Let's talk about writing tools next. For writing tools, I highly recommend that every journaler has a go-to pencil and eraser to keep in your bag. I actually don't have strong opinions about a pencil brand or an eraser brand, but if you're interested, these are the two that I consistently reach for. For pencil, I use this Dragifel Leuchtturm 1917 by Bullet Journal collaboration pencil. I'm sure I'm saying the name wrong, but it is reliable and slim, easy to use, mechanical pencil, but this is the guy that I reach for all the time. And then for eraser, I actually use this Uli Rainbow Gem stacking eraser. This does not fit the aesthetic of anything else in my journaling supplies, and yet I consistently use it. It's actually a really nice eraser. It doesn't leave any scuffs, it does not smudge, and it's the size of a regular marker, so it fits really nicely into a pencil pouch. And for my millennial people, it has that like 90s nostalgic stacking mechanism. So when the eraser runs out, you just take the top out and you push it through the bottom and you've got a brand new one there. So I just love that nostalgia. It's the one I reach for all the time. My next recommendation for any journaler is to have a go-to gel pen. Out of all the writing tools I am going to recommend today, this is the top writing tool I think everybody should have. This is the Pilot Juice Up 03 gel pen. And if you have seen any of my content, you know this is my absolute go-to gel pen for everything. I use it daily. It is so good for obviously writing, but also drawing and line work. So if you're a bullet journaler and you're creating calendar layouts, this needle point tip is going to make really fine lines, and that matches my aesthetic quite well because my style tends to be a little bit more delicate, a little bit more minimal, and so that line is not going to be super heavy and bold. My handwriting is on the small side, so the writing with this pen doesn't feel overly crowded on the page. Everything feels nice and light. This is my absolute number one tool. My next recommendation is to find a fountain pen that you love. Fountain pens, I think, elevate the writing experience tenfold. So while I love a good gel pen, love a good ballpoint pen, the fountain pen is really what's going to take your journaling experience to the next level. This is the one that I always recommend. This is the TWSBI Eco. This particular colorway was the Cafe Bronze, but the Ecos come in all kinds of really pretty colors. TWSBI Eco, I always recommend, especially for beginners, because they are extremely user-friendly. If you notice, the inside is just this clear barrel that holds the ink. You don't need any prior knowledge of cartridges, cartridge converters, anything like that. You simply just dip the nib into the bottle of ink, and then you use this twisting piston mechanism to twist and draw up the ink. And then it will be full, and then it's ready to go. I also recommend this pen because As far as fountain pens go, prices can range from $5 to $5,000. It's a really expensive hobby if you want it to be. TWSBI Ecos are relatively inexpensive, like in that range. They typically run about $30. This particular one was $50 because of the colorway. The last writing tool I'm going to recommend for journalers is to have a brush pen. They're good for emphasizing certain words in your writing. If you want to do a fun header or if you want to label a picture, brush pens are really great for that. I recommend this Zig Kuretake Coco Iro letter pen. This is my absolute favorite brush pen, and it's one that I recommend all the time. The Coco Iro is in two pieces. It has the body, the barrel, which come in lots of fun colors and designs, and then you buy the refills for it. Obviously, I have the brush pen refill right now. This is the extra fine brush pen refill. They also come in brush refill that is like a tall, flexible brush, and then they also come in a roller ball refill. The longer, more flexible brush pen tip, that's harder to control, and so a lot of people feel a little intimidated by that, so I highly recommend getting the extra fine brush pen refill. Last but not least, let's talk journaling accessories. The first accessory I think that every journaler should have is a ruler. I like this one. It's from the Coffee Monsters Co. Not only is it cute with these little emoji heads on it, I like that it's small. This is 6 inches, about 15 centimeters, and I like that it's metal. So this ruler is small enough to fit into pretty much every pencil pouch, any journal tote that I am bringing along. And I like that it's metal because it's going to give me really clean lines in my bullet journal. Every time I make a calendar layout or any kind of collection, tracker, log, I use this ruler and it's great. Bonus is if you're going to use a cutter of any kind, a razor, an X-Acto knife, putting the razor up against metal is much better because if it's wood, you might cut into it. My next recommendation is to have neutral washi tapes, or washi tapes that just kind of make you happy. Keep these on hand to use in all different types of journaling. I like to use them by themselves just for decoration. I also like to layer them with stickers or other things. I sometimes make little tabs with them. I use washi to hold pictures on and different ephemera on in my memory keeping. Lots of different uses. These two are from Washi Tape Shop. Some printed text. This one is a nice neutral script. This one is from Mindwave and it has lots of little neutral washi strip swatches all connected together. My favorite journal decoration are transfer stickers. They are so fun. They're kind of like a temporary tattoo for your journal. So what you do is take the back layer off and then you just stick this design onto your journal page, and then you put pressure on it and rub on the design that you want until it transfers onto your notebook. I love transfer stickers not only because they come in so many beautiful designs, but because they don't add bulk to your journal page. So I love stickers, regular stickers as well, but I love transfer stickers the most because they blend and almost melt right into the page. My top recommendation are MU Lifestyle transfer stickers. There are a couple of other companies that I've used in the past, but MU Lifestyle, they work the best in my opinion. I also love traditional stickers as well. My recommendation is to use transparent stickers or washi paper stickers. Again, I love stickers that don't add a ton of bulk to your page. So my favorite sticker companies are Sterling Ink, Simple Paper, Stick with Kate, Nib and Fleur. I love all of those small business designs because they are so beautiful and such good quality. I use them all the time in my journaling. The last accessory I think a journaler should use is stamps, wooden stamps. I love that wooden stamps have these really clean line illustrations that you can add to your journal. And for me, I like to note what fountain pen and what ink I'm using for my long form journaling. And so I love to put a little stamp down to be able to mark that. My favorite stamps are these wooden stamps from Beverly. I especially love these little sets that they create. There are so many cute designs in one little container, and I just love that they are so portable and easy to use. So Beverly is my favorite wooden stamp supply. So I hope you found some new journaling products to try. Maybe you already are using them. Should I be trying something new? Let me know down in the comments, and thanks for watching.